Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Lozy PC, and more importantly, welcome back to War in the West versus Axe. How are we all doing? I hope everyone is having a good day. So it looks like um, we have some interesting situations going on. Just kind of looking at the moment in regards to what is going on around Italy and Europe. It would seem that Axe has made a secondary landing in the Gulf of Toronto. So we will look to deal with that at some point, as well as obviously dealing with the situation that is moving our troops over. Now, let's have a look at kind of how things are going, and maybe let's have a look at some air battles to see if we can see what's happened during Axe's turn, in particular over areas that is significant. So we shot down some lightnings there, which is pretty good. We lost ourselves some BF 109s. We need to try and make sure that they don't get drawn out too much, our 109s, over the Netherlands, because they do seem to be losing a lot of aircraft, which is not ideal. They are trying to stop these early, but yeah, we are losing too much aircraft. So we're going to kind of maybe stop this sort of thing to kind of prevent getting attacked by these Spitfires. Occasionally we are getting some results, but I think just the sheer number of allied aircraft is causing us a kind of a problem here. So we'll have to reassert that. Oh my god, there's a huge battle here. Just over Meurs, where a lot of enemy aircraft were shot down. So that's not too bad. But yeah, we can see that there's a mixed amount. We do have some of the Jaeger 109s, 110s flying at night and shooting down some bombers. So again, things happening that's not too bad. It seems so. The bombing is getting pretty intense, which is always a bit of a nightmare. Anywhere else, it just seems to be kind of focused at the moment around what do you call it? Around Dortmund. Now we do have a few fights going on down here, mostly recon, but he is also seemingly bombing down here. But we do seem to be kind of winning any sort of fights over here, so that's all well and good. Let's just have a quick look in Italy. What has been going on down here? Some recon aircraft by looks of it, some B-24s as well, and a load of bombing and interdiction, which is going to make it obviously harder for us to get our Tigers through. Now, one thing that we definitely want to therefore do is, if we go over to here, let's go to our air superiority. Where is it? Air superiority mode. We want to turn this one off. It's too much of a risk at the moment, and we're losing too many aircraft. The rest seem generally pretty okay for the time being in regards to air superiority. So let us now go to ground support. No, we don't want to do that. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Let's now go to ground support, because what I want us to do, or ground attack rather, is I want us to basically kind of start to really hammer, Italy with interdiction to prevent Invictus from, not Invictus, Axe from doing much really. So let us, how do I delete this? I want to, yeah, there we go. So delete that, and then ground attack, we are going to set it up from here. So Luftwaffe 2, ground attack, there we go, select target hex, and let's do it as a radius of 6, which pretty much covers the entirety of the south of Italy, which is good for us. Now, target priority is interdiction. That should be the first and foremost. According to this, we've got 200 aircraft flying. I'm more than happy with that. Let's get a couple of these as fighter bombers. Let's assign all air groups. I want to get a few. See, those are night fighters. There we go. The inactive air groups. Why so? Why is JG53 not flying? Is it because they've just arrived and they haven't got any fuel? That could be the reason why. Okay, so that's basically the only difference really that I want to do in regards to ground attack. We need to cover and we need to get that interdiction levels up. So yeah, that's all we really need to do. So we'll confirm that. And that goes into play. And yeah, then we go and let the game do its thing. We'll zoom out a little bit. And obviously now we can see a lot of aircraft flying and doing some ground attacks and interdictions. Yeah, suddenly we're doing a lot of sorties over in southern Italy. Not really losing too many aircraft, occasional to operations, but that's fine. Obviously, the idea of this is to make it super difficult for Axe to come through, or more the fact that Axe is going to have to take some casualties in coming through this. Now, let's have a look. It will be Luftwaffe 2 ground attack. They did a lot of raids, and as we can see, there's a good amount of interdiction there, so pretty happy with that. Let's just have a quick look at the interdiction levels. We can see that there's the occasional one, nothing too significant, but over the next turn or so, hopefully that will make it a bit more difficult. Now, Axe has spoken to me, and he's told me something that is just infuriating. So, the Hungarian Panzer Division here has retreated. It lost 76 tanks. The Allies lost 50 tanks, as well as losing 9. We lost 9 aircraft. The Allies lost none. And in terms of infantry, very similar. Now, let's have a look here, okay? Ground losses. Ground losses? We lost 20 Tigers. Now, none of those were destroyed by the air. All of these were destroyed by ground units, okay? We're just going to go to tanks here. The Shermans, the Allies, and these are Commonwealth, so likely Canadians, maybe Brits, lost 28 tanks. 28 Shermans, 16 Stuarts. What the... you would think that Tigers would supposedly be better here. Clearly not. Now, we lost a few Focke 109s to enemy aircraft. It seems to be a lot there, so maybe we should have checked that. But yeah, that's something that is interesting and not particularly great. Now, what we're going to do is we need to move these troops back. We cannot risk getting them cut off or destroyed by the Allies. So we're going to move them back so that they can, basically keep themselves covered. Because, again, we can see in Axe invading and Axe moving up, the last thing we want to do is lose, stupid amounts of troops because we're not kind of paying attention and not being ready to deal with Axe's troops. Now let's get some of these off to sea. Letting me have to do the weird small motions again. Now we lose a transport, which is never great. I'm going to move these. The biggest one is still Rome. Sorry, still Naples. Let's see if we can move them onto this. They might not be able to. They'll need more movement, but they do seem to land in the port. Insufficient port capacity. So one more turn and then we can move those guys off. Okay. So we are, as I say, digging in, so that's fine. We should get these fortified zones building up. A friend of mine, Italian, told us that actually what you need here is you actually need troops to dig in. So we'll see what ends up happening with these. Hopefully they'll be dug in and ready for when the Allies assault us. Now, in the north, we do also have some infantry divisions arriving. So let's just check, before we check anything else, the garrison requirement. In a couple of months, we are going to need more units in northern Italy, which is pretty significant. We currently have a Fallschirmjäger division, so the full Fallschirmjäger there. We do also have the 1st SS Panzer Corps with the 1st SS Panzer Division on its way south. Did we have anything else turn up this turn? Army Group B, 10th Army, and a group of divisions. Whereabouts did they turn up? So there's Army Group B. What is assigned to this at the moment? It should be the 10th Army, no? No, it is currently the Meyer Heavy Panzer Company. Okay. Let's have a look where the 10th Army spawned. Okay, 10th Army spawned near the Hungarian-Austrian border. Okay. And again, it doesn't seem to have anything assigned to it. Now, that means we can move the 10th Army south into Italy. 243rd is deployed nearby. Also attached to OKW. And again, maybe this is also something that we can deploy down there to make sure that we have enough troops. Now, what we are going to do is make sure that the SS Panzer Grenadiers go onto trains. And why are these guys not moving? Should be... Oh, there we go. Weird buttons. Let's move these... I'm debating... Yeah, let's move these towards the front line. So we'll move them towards Siena. And what we do need to make sure is that we have units in reserve. Because something that I think Axe might do is he might follow the historical Allied route of landing troops, behind us. Now, that is what the Allies did. It is what Axe could do if he wanted to. It wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. But what we have to do is, if he does that, we have to be able to jump on that as quickly as we can. And that would be moving... I don't want to move the static division. There we go. That would involve us, moving something like, panzer divisions, or we also have a couple of divisions down here. Now, again, I'm going to move the 10th Army south, but they are going to deploy into northern Italy, places like Genoa, and areas like that, just to kind of dig in and make sure that we have the garrison there, because we get more when points are negative, we are doing well. Now, something that does happen is every time we ignore the garrison request, is that moved? It doesn't look like it's moved. Am I just sat here waiting for this to move and it wasn't moving? I think I was sat there waiting for that to move and it didn't move. God, come on. Why is it on the trains? So put the 10th, the first SS Panzer Corps on the train. Oh, right, it couldn't make it down there. Okay, can go to Medina then. So as we were saying, if we don't garrison places properly, then Axe just gets loads of free victory points, and we don't want that to happen. We want to make this he's got to fight for his victory points. It's currently very balanced at the moment. Turn VP is 8. We'll have a look at why he got that as such. Game VP is 12, so it's still kind of in his favor, but not too much, so that's all good. Now, let us find where the 265th Infantry Division is. This is deployed in northern Germany. Okay, that's fine. And then let's have a look at where the 266th has deployed. This is deployed in southern Germany, in Württemberg. Now, by the looks of things, these are not quite there yet. TOE in details, they are only at 55% of what they need. So they do need time to re-equip. But this, in a way, makes them perfect for sitting in northern Italy for a few weeks. It gives them that opportunity to refit, rearm, and get more troops without having to worry too much about active combat. So let's go to the 266th, and let's make sure that this is not assigned to OKW. This gets assigned to the 10th Army. Let's also make sure we do the same with, where were they? The 267th. Again, we can see that it's also low. According to this, it is a little bit better. Oh no, wrong. Its morale is better, but again, 50% in regards to its TOE, which is not ideal. But again, what we do here is we click on the 265th and then assign it to the 10th Army. And then we have our 243rd Infantry Division down here. And again, do the same thing. So now, the 10th Army has 3 divisions assigned to it. and can move south, which, perfectly reasonable for me, for that to take place. It is attached to OKW. Is there a thing down here it can attach to? Could attach to Army Group C, as well, just to really make sure that we have our elements all correct and how it should be. So there we go. It attaches to Army Group C, and it can have some construction battalions if it wants. So let's get these boys onto train tracks, and again, let's deploy them around Italy. So we'll deploy the 243rd in Genoa. We are going to deploy the, I think it's 246, which is just in Württemberg. We'll deploy that in Milan. And then we'll deploy the 245 in Bologna. That way, then, they're spread out throughout northern Italy. It means then if Axe decides to attack any of those points, we can kind of make sure that we stop that. So the 266 is going to go to Milan. And what we can do is, once this is done, is we can see, compared to the screen and the garrison, how well that is going. We'll also check for our air deployments as well, because that's always useful. Now, because these are still on train, it probably won't actually flag up thinking about it, but we'll see. The 10th Army can deploy in Palma, not Palma, Palma. Palma is in the Balearic Islands. In Palma, and that way it's, what's the word? Covering kind of all, it's in between all of the areas where we want it, so that's fine. And then let's move the units down from northern Italy, northern Germany. And see, this is what's quite nice, is when you assign these units to different places, it's quite nice. Different commands. It's quite nice that they show you those colors. So particularly, say for not just myself, but even Axe, if he's trying to organize troops on the other side, it is very good for him and kind of nice for him to be able to see, okay, the first army has got these units attached, etc., etc. So when he's trying to sort everything out, he can easily see. So this isn't necessarily going to give us anything at the moment, but this is combat value that we require. I can never quite remember which number is combat value. I think it's the first number. I could always be wrong. Yeah, it will be. So its combat value is a little low at the moment. Again, they are on trains, so that would be why. But once they get themselves re-equipped and off the trains, then we'll be happy. We do have the 242nd, which is currently assigned to OKW, as well as the 162nd Turkoman Division. Now, these guys are coming down to kind of reinforce. Let us send the Turkoman Division to Pescara. And let's send a 242 to Rome. And again, part of this is for preparation, basically to make sure these need to be refitted as well. But basically to make sure that what, doesn't necessarily happen, although these guys don't need a refit, these guys are ready. If Axe wants to do some kind of crazy landing, we have troops ready for him. That is kind of our big, aim there. Now we also have the stack divisions, which we're not really going to worry about. Tomorrow we get, or next time we get some, Neverworthers, security, SS gun battalion, and it's just some nothing too exciting. We do get some Ost infantry battalion who are going to obviously be deployed to Northern Europe. We are doing a little bit historical, because it's always fun too. But yeah, you can see here that these zones that don't have troops, these fortified zones that don't have troops on top of them, they're not pairing as much. Let's carry on building the Atlantic Wall, slowly but surely. Now, it does mean that basically Dunkirk is completely covered, which is really good. We've got Luftwaffe field divisions over here, which is quite fun. Let's give them some flak battalions, actually, just to kind of, you know, give them a little bit more oomph in case anything takes place. Let's get a couple of construction battalions over here as well. It hopefully will help shoot down some allied aircraft, but who knows. What's Panzer Grenadier Division got here? The 9 Tigers. It's got 35 Panthers. Wow. Some Hummels. Its TOE is only 68%. Let's have a quick look at our production. In terms of damaged stuff, we do have a lot of our Stugs are damaged, which is a bit annoying. Because I'm no doubt we have loads of those deployed all over the place. We've got 33 units of them. There's 33 of them deployed. Current supply. Now, this is just in general. We've got 327 brevity with 62 damaged. I don't know if this is just... Yeah, this isn't just the Stugs as such. Each Luftwaffe field division has some as well. See, that's supply detail. I don't really want to know that. There we go. This might be better. I'm going through proper self-propelled. No, these are Stugs. There you go. That's the Italian version. Let's have a look here. So 31 needing upgraded, I believe. I'm trying to learn, trying to remember what each of these are saying. This is just their info. It's not necessarily what's actually going on. Yeah, it doesn't say if there is anything there. Exactly what need them, but they're saying that the field, Luftwaffe field divisions, yeah, they do have Stugs there. They have like 4 of them. But yeah, if we had a look there at our production, got a lot of Stugs damaged. They're in 33 units, got 100 built. Is there any expansion rate on this? Build limit 15. So these guys aren't going to expand much more, which is a shame. So we're not going to get any more Stugs any quicker. Sturs, build rate of 9. No, they're going to just keep building as well. What else is majorly damaged in ground? Nothing seemingly. It seems to be our Stug plants that are the most damaged. Heavy industry is obviously suffering, fuel production as well, and just general vehicles, but we do have a lot more than that anyway, so I'm not too worried at the moment. And the big thing is our aircraft plants don't seem to be damaged too much. The BF-109 G6s, we do seem to be having a lot of them. It'll be interesting. When is the G10s available? September 19... sorry, G14s. These guys are available from May 1945. So the G6s, which is these ones, will upgrade to those in May 1945. So 44. So they're fine for the time being. And obviously that's the ones we produce a lot of. Now, according to this, we are suffering from a fair few aircraft, but we will keep an eye on it. No, there's 27 damage. There is 110 still in reserve. So if we just have a quick glance down here. They're BF-110s. Where's the 109s? We'll make sure they're not too far ahead. There we go. So JG-53. This is actually part of the Italian Luftwaffe, but fine. According to this, it's got 33 ready aircraft. Now, if we were to change this, G6, there's 109 in the pool. So, and we're building 126 every week. So I'm not too worried by that. So that's actually pretty good news, but we've got to make sure that they actually get there. What about air units? Actually quite a lot. We've even got some of the Italian aircraft. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, that's not this turn. That is next turn. We get a few Italian flighters, which is pretty good. So even though some of the Italians have decided that they don't want to fight with us anymore, not all of them are quite leaving us just yet. So that's going to be good. We also get a load of Romanian fighters as well the rest of this month. So that's pretty good. Let's just double check. Have we got anything in the National Reserve for... No, it's just Luftwaffe Reich mostly. Okay, well, we're going to keep those in supply, in reserve, because again, I'm not super worried. We obviously are taking damage over in mains. Now, we did have the joke, actually. I am going to do one thing. Me and Invictus did have a bit of... I keep saying Invictus. Me and Axe did have a bit of a laugh the other night. There is one factory that builds Tiger tanks. Now, if we come down to this, it's not damaged yet. Let's just have a quick look. Tanks, Tiger. We currently build 6 every week. Okay? That is the most we can build. We lost 20 last week in one battle. Not good. Not good at all. There are King Tigers that will be slowly coming, but like really slow. So not great. Now, there is one factory for the Tiger, and it is in Kessel. It is here. So if we were to go to map information and look at factories, we can see that not, King Tigers get built here as well as Focke-Wulf 190s. But the 6 Tigers there is really important. So we have just deployed 2 aircraft here. The JG3 and Stab JG76. These guys are going to basically try to make sure that they protect Kessel from Axe, although it is pushing a little bit closer in. This is the Stug factory that's been bombed, so obviously we need to keep an eye on that. And these guys are pretty fucked by the looks of it. Now, I'm wondering... Well, they're deployed G4s. There's a load of pilots, but there's no aircraft at these guys for the moment. Which is not great. They're not on an air directive either, so we'll keep an eye on that and see how it goes. But generally, I think we are pretty much ready to go. Clearly, Axe has got a load of troops now in Italy. The combat in Italy is really going to kick up a notch over the next few weeks. We're dug in. We're ready for him. So it'll be intriguing to see how exactly it goes. We'll get the hiring going, Panzer Division back behind enemy lines. I might even take out the, the Heavy Panzer Division Battalion, unassign it, just because it was a bit fucked, basically. And then we'll see how things go. It was a bit depleted. Right. So, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Until next time, have a very, very good day. And do remember to like and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, let me know how you find this campaign going. I think it's in a very intriguing spot. I enjoy this campaign. I would prefer it if it was more like War in the Pacific, where it was simultaneous turns, so to speak. But I'm not going to complain too much. So yeah, we will see how things go. Until then, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.